So for those of you who didn't see my video explaining what the Amazon Associates program is and how it's going to work with this channel, let me do a brief recap on that for a moment. So Amazon has created a program called the Amazon Associates program that helps YouTube creators such as myself in a way to monetize our channel. Because as you probably know, YouTube has become stricter and stricter about what they want to monetize on YouTube for their platform. It's becoming very hard for YouTube creators to make money from their videos the way they used to, or to grow their channels with income the way that they used to. The reason why is they're saying it's not advertiser friendly. Point in case, when you report the subjects that mainstream media doesn't talk about, it's not advertiser friendly. So they won't monetize your videos. So if you do shopping on Amazon, if you make purchases, you go to the link below, you click on it, it takes you to Amazon just like you normally would go to Amazon. You can then search for whatever product it is you wanted to buy, and by making that purchase after clicking on the link, this channel will get a commission of that sale. And it is a great way to help support this channel and help us spread our message and grow this channel so that we can reach more and more people out there. So we thank you for your support, and we hope you enjoy the video. Amy Klobuchar went on CNN a couple of days ago, and she decided that she has now figured out why she is doing so poorly in these primaries, and why someone like Pete Buttigieg, not that I support him any more than I do Amy Klobuchar, but why someone like Pete Buttigieg is actually doing so much better than her in a state like Iowa, for example. And she is going to take the time to educate us all on what that reason is. Let's take a look.
Two new recent polls have shown that the moderate candidate who appears to be breaking into the top tier in Iowa is actually South Bend, Indiana Mayor Pete Buttigieg. Recent comments in the New York Times suggest that you don't believe that Mayor Buttigieg is qualified to be the president. Am I reading that wrong?
Yes, I don't think I want to dwell on various press articles, but I'll say this. I think any of the candidates that were on that debate stage were more qualified than the President of the United States right now. So
well, that's more qualified, more qualified than
Mayor
Trump.
Pete,
do you think Buttigieg
yes.
is qualified, period?
Yes.
Okay.
But let me explain why I think I am the better candidate. And by the way, we get asked this all the time. Welcome to politics. And that's what was in that article. Various candidates get asked about each other all the time. And I made what I think was a cogent case. And that is that I'm the one from the Midwest that's actually won in a statewide race over and over again, including bringing in those voters that just voted in Kentucky, those kind of voters, just voted in Virginia, brought them over the edge so that we had strong leaders that were able to win those elections. Those are the kind of voters I've won. And that's not true of Mayor Pete. That's just a fact.
Right.
I also am someone that has passed multiple bills as the lead Democrat, important bills in Washington, D.C. He's had a different experience. We should be able to have those debates about candidates without being accused of being negative. All this is are questions were asked. And the last point I made in that article was that of the women on the stage, I'm focusing here on my fellow women senators, Senator Harris, Senator Warren, and myself. Do I think that we would be standing on that stage if we had the experience that he had? No, I don't. Maybe we're held to a different standard. But my goal here is to get the best candidate to lead the ticket. I believe that's me. That is why I have been able to attract the kind of support that I have in the early states. And I am doing this the right way, running a grassroots campaign.
Senator.
Okay, so here's the first thing I want to ask. You're focusing on yourself, Senator Warren, and Senator Harris. Why not Tulsi Gabbard? I like how you seem to not have any concern about her. Now, of course, she is polling, I believe, behind Warren and Harris at this point. But I think she's polling ahead of you, Amy. If someone's got stats out there that show otherwise, by all means, let's see them. But I'm pretty sure she's still ahead of you. Now, furthermore than that, she claims that she is the type of Democrat that has been winning over these voters in the Rust Belt, like Kentucky, Virginia, all these other states. Now, she claims she's already done it in her own state. Maybe she has. But I would like to just point this out, okay? You're the type of Democrat that has hurt the working class over the last 20 to 30 years. You're not the kind of Democrat that has helped the working class, Amy. So, let's just run through two quick examples on what I mean by that. Medicare for all. Yeah, you want to build upon Obamacare. Obamacare was a piece of shit. I don't like cussing too much on this channel and using language like that. But in this instance, yeah, I'm going to say Obamacare was absolute garbage. Now, some people are going to get mad about that and say, oh, it got so many people on healthcare, blah, 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 blah. Yes, but it was a watered down freaking version of what we should have gotten. It didn't even get a public option. Didn't even get the public option. Okay? And Obama had a super majority. And the whole point was, well, maybe we can win some Republican votes. No, they didn't get a single Republican vote. And they still didn't even get us something that is really good for the rest of the country. The only people who really got Obamacare were low enough income-wise that they got subsidized for the most part. But people like myself, I didn't qualify for a subsidy, and I couldn't afford what the regular price was. And then I get fined at the end of the year if I wasn't able to get employer's health insurance. Because my employer, during the 3 years that I got penalized, had horrible health insurance that was unaffordable and was no good. I mean, it would be financially pointless to have it. You're better off taking about a $700 hit in your back taxes at the end of the year. And then pray you don't have to go to the doctor either because you're not insured. Okay? But that's Amy Klobuchar's plan. That's what she wants to build upon. Yeah, that's not good for the middle class, and it's definitely not good for the working people to build upon a system that, for a lot of working class people out there, was horrible and hurt them. You need to be supporting a system that your party was pushing for before the 1960s even. Remember, Harry Truman was for a system similar to Medicare for all. JFK certainly talked about it. We showed a clip of that the other day. Okay? But after Reagan, the Democratic Party seemed to forget all about that, and now people on the right and left call certain people on the left, people on the farther left rather, the corporatist, right left, we'll call them. Yeah, they call people on the left kooks and nuts for supporting a position like Medicare for all. And they want to make the argument, well, how's it going to be paid for? How's it going to be paid for? And for someone who doesn't do their homework, it's believable until you start figuring out that even Koch brothers studies have found that it would actually save money. Okay, so that's your proposal for the healthcare. What are some other things you've been for, Amy? TPP. So you were for free trade. A disastrous free trade deal. One Donald Trump pulled out of as soon as he hit office. Something Donald Trump bludgeoned Hillary Clinton with in the debates in the 2016 election. Because these trade deals have been part of a overall problem for working class America. Okay? They have caused so much job loss in this country and have really hurt blue-collar working-class people. And so how do you figure, Amy, when you're the type of Democrat who's for this kind of crap, that it's you who's going to win over these Rust Belt workers? Now, I want to play devil's advocate for just a moment and say that it is at least possible that she is right, that there are a lot of blue-collar Rust Belt workers who would vote for her because she's some sort of this hybrid between a swamp Republican to a swamp Democrat. Well, basically, a hybrid between a Democrat and a swamp Republican is what a swamp Democrat is, in my opinion. Okay, so that being said, there are a lot of people out there who say, well, I think that's what we need. We need somebody in the middle of the two. Yeah, but you don't want the swamp Republican mixing with some Democrat ideologies to create the swamp Democrat. That's not a recipe that works. That's what she is. Now, I do think there's probably a lot of people out there who don't see it that way and think that that's the way to get things done, and so we should vote for them. And while there may be people out there who view things that way, let's be clear, if there are any, I don't think that eventually that's what's going to be winning these Rust Belt workers, because they're not dumb. They know what's been costing them a lot of their jobs. They know that it was free trade. And if you're for it, then they're not going to be for you. And of course, let's remember, there was one guy who nearly flipped a district in the 2018 midterms named Richard Ojeda. And of course, this district went for Trump by a lot. Oh God, it won by a lot. And he closed that gap so much. He couldn't pull it off. He couldn't win the election. But he came very, 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 very close to winning his election. And this is a district where Trump beat the socks off Hillary Clinton. What's the difference? He's a Democrat. She was a Democrat. Because he was a Democrat trying to look out for the people in that town and their jobs. Huge difference. Because she was going to take away more of their jobs, and they knew it. While Trump is out there arguing this message of, I'm going to bring your jobs back. So he whipped her ass. And this guy, who voted for Trump because of that very reason and what Trump was saying as opposed to what Clinton was saying, Ojeda, yes, he was a Democrat and he voted for Trump. Nearly pulled it off and beat the Republican to win a congressional seat in that district. So that's the kind of Democrat that's going to start flipping these Rust Belt workers, not some corporatist swamp creature like you, Amy. And of course, her whole argument is, oh, because she's a woman. She's a woman. She's a woman. No, Amy, no. First of all, I don't think you're picking a fight with the right person when it comes to the identity politics, okay, about why you're not doing so good. You're not picking a fight with the right guy there, because while, yes, Mayor Pete is a white male, it's not like he is a standard, old school, regular white male. Okay? Mayor Pete's made no bones about it. Mayor Pete's homosexual. There's nothing wrong with it. I know there's a lot of people out there who have this moral issue, with gay people and homosexuals. But here's the deal. Let people live their life, okay? You don't have to be one, but you live your life and do right by how you think you should do things. Let other people do what they want to do and just mind your own business. See, when it comes to, gay marriage, things like that, I've got no problem with it. My only issue that I've ever expressed when it comes to things like that is you do have to draw a line somewhere, because while I have no problem with that, the whole bathroom thing, I feel like you're opening up a window for pedophiles. And I get there are a lot of people who genuinely consider themselves of the opposite sex and would feel more comfortable using that restroom, but on the same token, there's a lot of creeps and weirdos out there, man, that just have this thing for kids, and I feel like you're opening that door. Okay, and I know there's a lot of people out there who are going to disagree with me on that, but that's, you know, those are topics for another day. But the point is, while you may be a woman and are advocating for your women's rights, and you might say you support LGBTQ rights as well, well, this is a guy who's right there on the front lines for LGBTQ rights. So both of you, you know, have your own battle, let's say. You've had your own struggles over periods of time. So to say that he's got this traditional white privilege thing and being a male and all that going for him, well, not white privilege, but male privilege, we'll say going for him, not really. Not really. Because he's still battling with the fact that there are a lot of homophobic people out there in this country who simply have a problem with him because he is gay. And they don't like it. And so they would not vote for him. And there's a lot of real, you know, gruff men out there that would say, I ain't going to vote for no gay man. Blah, 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 blah. And so they wouldn't do it. So you're picking a fight with the wrong one, Amy. But again, she's just looking for a scapegoat. Her campaign is gasping for air. She's going nowhere. And so now she's trying to piggyback off someone who, just like her, is another corporatist. But she knows not to pick a fight with Bernie. She knows not to pick a fight with Yang. And she knows not to pick a fight with Tulsi Gabbard. You notice she never even mentioned any of them in there, period. She went with Warren. But as we've established, Warren, in my opinion, has become more and more apparent to be a snake in the grass. Period. Okay? So she deliberately avoided to not mention Tulsi or Bernie or Andrew Yang. She's going to try and piggyback off of Buttigieg and try to boost herself up a little bit by saying she's more qualified than he is. And basically, since they're both corporatists, try and throw him under the bus and take his spot. Desperate attempt at a grab for a pull-up in the polls. But Amy, yeah, I don't see it happening. And trust me, it's got nothing to do with the fact that you're a woman. It's got to do with the fact that it is your style of politics and it is your style of the Democratic Party that has been hurting the working class for a very, very long time. And too many people can see right through you, and they're fed up with that style. And they don't want it. Pure and simple. Thank you for tuning into this episode of the Independent Report. If you liked the video, please give us a thumbs up and like the video. Also, if you have any questions or comments that you'd like to ask or topics you'd like us to cover, please drop a comment in the comment box below. And also, please subscribe to the channel. And if you do subscribe, ring that bell so you'll stay up to date when we drop new videos and you'll get notifications of it. And also, please support us on Patreon. Funds are going to be used to grow and improve this channel so we can reach more and more people and spread the message that the mainstream media doesn't want to tell people. We hope you'll tune in next time.